streets are dead now in this district. Very few people about. It's a bit scary actually walking through the wild places between the districts because there's still a lot of mines around here. Something burning over there, I don't know what it is. Hello guys, welcome from another day in Kharkiv. It's a stinking hot day today. Today, Ilya, a friend of mine from the Kharkiv Reds, is going to be showing me a couple of places which came off quite worse for wear, unfortunately. I don't want you guys to think I'm filming with rose-tinted glasses on. I know I like to focus on more positive things in Ukraine, but I do also want to show, just for balance, the side of Ukraine which is and has been suffering. We're going to a district now called Severna Saltovka, and yeah, this place got hit very badly. I used to live actually in Saltovka for 2 years, so it's kind of like going home for me now. And unfortunately, yeah, see the damage from the first few months and first year of the war. So we're in the district now, the start of it. We've got off the metro, and yeah, so far nothing too much, but probably as we get further down it's going to get worse and worse, unfortunately. So we're starting now to see the first signs of the destruction in this district. We've got a fitness club here with smashed windows. Becoming more and more of a ghost town as we get out. As we get out. How do you feel, Ilya? We're going to...
I feel comfortable because I was here for another time when I visited a sauna here, and it's like my region, my
район? So all of these windows here are smashed and...
Windows that were destroyed.
Oh, up on the top, yeah. Интересно, еще живут тут люди?
В квартире живут, да. Некоторые закончили деньги, они живут и так, просто там условно.
Стиль такой жестокий, брутальный.
На самом деле, от районных районов у меня, например, таких переходов довольно чимало. Лучше, чем Жигули, там, Москвич. Ну, лучше, например, вот это.
Работает? О.
Давай я скачаю, может. О, так это махина.
Oh, it worked pretty well. I'll jump on.
Antique attraction.
See, they were built to last these things. Still working.
Antique attraction.
Antique attractions. Must have been built 50 years ago. Still working.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe even more.
After World War II.
And I've heard that Saltovka is the biggest rayon in...
The biggest district in Kharkiv, yeah.
This district, Saltovka, is so big. It's like 400,000 people, I heard, live here. And it must be like 15 kilometers maybe. Kind of, yeah, and these districts here, right on the front line. So maybe only 20 kilometers to the border with Russia. That's why this district got hit so bad, because it was the first district when they came in. And we can see people still live in these burnt out flats still. Because they probably don't have the budget to move. So unfortunately many people are stuck here, living in the old flats which they lived in before, just burnt out now unfortunately and boarded up. On a coffee break now.
Little breakfast. Тут проспект, по идее. Блокпост, по идее, был.
Mm-hmm. This petrol station was hit quite badly. Something burning over there, I don't know what it is. Я тут смотрю и понимаю, да, как нам повезло на Алексеевке.
Да, мне тоже
Аптека была. Еще, кажется, работает базар, но немножечко. Вот эта улица. Потом посмотрим еще там. И переходим. Ого. So look at the state of this, and you can rent it still. Это, ну, типа, арендовать его можно.
Да, предлагает аренду человека.
Wonder how much you'd be paying for this.
Понял, когда вот есть у вас мост на Алексеев, ходил сразу же Яр,
Ага.
потому что думал, может, там тоже какие-то мины будут, остальное там красиво, конечно.
Never seen a water machine quite as old as this one, and it's not working, unfortunately. Что там? Лавочка? Маленькая такая лавочка.
Да.
There are also mines here too, so I need to be very careful and walk in between places, stay on the path, because yeah, there are still a lot of mines. I think this swing's seen better days, guys.
Скорее всего, нерабочие. Ключи уже есть. Как его спуститься?
А что там написано, типа?
Ключи уже есть.
I've got a cellar down here, which people probably went to hide. Look at this. You got a war going on, you've been hit. The whole district here was getting hit to hell. Still is sometimes. And you've got to go down into this. This is just the stuff of horror movie, guys. Absolute horror movie. You are always in my heart. We've got these holes, probably from an attack. So yeah, this isn't even halfway through yet, and we can see already a lot of damage. I think as we go further, it's just going to get worse. Yeah, very depressing to see. In the district I lived in, the city I lived in, like before and after, yeah, very sad.
Просто довольно мало осталось. Вот раньше мыльницы были, все, знаешь, такие квадраты.
You see a shell landed very close to this building, and unfortunately all shelled. It landed somewhere around where I'm standing now, the shell, splattering the walls and the windows. So in Ukraine they've got an ice cream called Stop Narcotic. And it's actually a bloody good ice cream. I know most ice cream in Ukraine is good. I don't know, it seems a lot more natural than the ice cream we get back in the UK. Very good ice cream in Ukraine. Do you like Stop Narcotic?
Yeah, I like it. I eat it a lot in my childhood. It was my favorite ice cream.
Stop. Okay. And I've noticed this ice cream actually has poppy seeds inside of it. Which is a very strange thing to put inside a Stop Narcotic ice cream. Poppy seeds. I don't know. The streets are dead now in this district. Very few people about. So people have donated or just put kids games here, kids toys, so kids can play when they come. So these toys are toys which people have just put these toys there for kids.
Yeah, I think so. That maybe some phones that just give them to play because they suffered a lot on this district, and after this they just can play some toys after this and be happy a little.
Poor kids, of course. This is no place for kids to be. А чё вы это?
Да.
No. Got this house here is totally bent. Don't think anybody lives here. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think people live
I
here?
think nobody living here because no permission to live there.
Yeah. But in the one next door they do. So crazy. Nobody lives in this one, but literally in the same building, people are still living. Well, you can see somebody's bed in there still. Wow. So just devastating to see the state of this building. I mean, there's nothing I can say even totally devastating. Ilya, do you know when this was hit, this building exactly?
Yeah, this building was hit by Russian missiles on the beginning of the war, maybe like in the beginning of the March 2022.
I can hear things still falling. Something fell. There's still things falling. Still, I don't know, people's personal stuff. Of course, nobody's been up there. Some old lady's photo, a family photo, a kid's toy. This kind of stuff is still falling from the floors. And you know, Ilya, why did Severna Saltovka get hit so bad? Why did it get affected?
I think because this district is located just near Russian border, and because of this, the missiles can hit it easily when they start attacking our city and our region.
Yeah, and how close were the Russian soldiers? How close were the Russian forces to this district at the start of the war?
They were just here where we just located now. A lot of tanks, a lot of the machines were there. A lot of people that live there were making video about the invasion from the windows and from the flats they living for.
So they actually came into Severna Saltovka?
Yes, they actually came to city, and after a few days they were distracted away, and after this they just attack. Don't stop attacking by the missiles like for 6 months.
Yeah, and I remember looking at Telegram last year, and it was always this district under fire, always Severna Saltovka. Yeah. Whoa. So yeah, every like 5 minutes we can hear something. I think maybe we should stand a bit further back because I don't know. yeah, we can still hear things dropping. Maybe a bird goes up there, things fall off, the wind pushes things off. So wow, I imagine during storms lots of things fall out. And
And a lot of people just don't have their things that they were maybe buying for the year, like their techniques, maybe some toys of their children's, maybe some interesting books, some materials that they have reported to their job, and after this they need just to leave the city and even can't come back to this house because they're totally destroyed.
еще работает?
Даже открыт.
Ого. Still open, this entrance.
Там quite safe, но я бы туда не сходил.
Surely people don't still live here. Yeah, it seems to be open, this door still, but there's no chance. I'm going in there, not in. This is the same building which was totally destroyed on the other side, and it's also of respect to the victims, you know, it's not a museum, this is the house. But we can see here now they're starting to build back this part of the building, which is fantastic. It's not only negative, not only doom and gloom these days in Saltivka. It was hit extremely badly, one of the worst hit places in Ukraine just last year. But yeah, we can see they're starting to build back some of the rescuable buildings. Of course, this building over there is not rescuable. It's going to have to be knocked down at some point. Somebody in this flat behind us now doing a renovation. They've got a drill. So even in these kind of buildings, people are still trying to salvage what they can. Of course, if it's their home, all of their money invested into it, they're not just going to leave it like that.
За 1000.
Этот?
Да, 30 тысяч.
This place here was a kind of a shop cafe called Kozak. Closed, of course, now, but maybe one day it'll get back working. I've got a cat living here. Что там, как дела? Как тут жизнь? It's a bit scary actually walking through the wild places between the districts because there's still a lot of mines around here. We're being super careful, of course, but even walking in these places it feels quite dodgy. Got a school here which was hit.
I think it's preliminary school for like maybe children from 4 to 7, something like this.
Yeah, totally. Whoa, this building is totally destroyed. Maybe it was a little outside gym or something for the kids, maybe a little kindergarten. Totally folded over into.
Я думаю, что там можешь зайти, но... Уже пора, походу. А вот еще смотри. Интересно, как они там вообще...
people living in one of these flats behind me. I can hear noises there and people inside. Wow. I wonder if the buildings are safe, if they've been like approved as being stable, or if they could still just fall at any moment. Тут смотри, в этот микрорайон просто пипец.
Ну да. Я нет, какой-нибудь попали, вон смотри.
Это еще школа?
Это, по идее, там, наверное, школа уже.
Another school here, totally, well not totally, but pretty bombed out. And this district is just totally obliterated. Basically, there's nobody about on the streets. It's actually super eerie to walk about these streets. It's literally just us. There's like nobody else about. Nobody wants to live here anymore.
Судя по виду, что вряд ли, но, может, пару предложений скажут.
Mm-hmm. Just came to this basketball court then and saw some teenagers playing basketball, even in such a place like this. School's been half destroyed.
Своим друзьям не может.
Oh, the strength of these attacks. Literally, we can see the hole. Totally blew it off of the bars. Wow. Не играть, мне кажется,
Ну, надо. Здесь, по идее, можно выйти. Все равно какой-то груша, даже до войны.
We've got the situation now which happens quite a lot in Kharkiv in summertime, and it's guess the explosion, thunder or rocket attack. So walking down here just had a massive, well it sounded quite far but a very deep bang, and yeah, this time of year can be quite misleading because quite often, I'd say almost like 50% of the time, it's actually thunder. And that also sounded like thunder, but also it could have easily been an attack, I don't know. Well, this street was hit and they've written onto their doors, people live here, please don't touch us, but unfortunately it was still hit. So yeah, I just had another explosion in the distance, probably I'd say 10, 15 kilometers away. It wasn't so close, not like the explosions we had over the weekend. Dots, I don't know if they're saucers or what. Just had a very big bang nearby. Or very loud. I don't know what it was, but yeah, something very. And yeah, unfortunately, I think that was actually an attack because it didn't sound. It sounded more like an attack, like a rocket attack, than thunder. So yeah, it's still not safe here fully. Even now, there's still attacks, but yeah, there's still the risk, of course, even here. Even though I don't know why anybody in their right mind would want to bomb this now. There's literally nothing left here to bomb, as we can see. And that means that now, actually, ironically, this district is probably one of the safest districts in Kharkiv just because there's literally nothing here to bomb. There's very little left. Very few people live here. There's very few things about here. So I imagine that there's not much wish to even hit this place anymore. You can see the floors up there are still on there. Wow. It's actually so sad to see people's stuff still up there. We can still see people's laminated floor hanging off. And again, we can see here, people, люди, written on there, and obviously didn't make any difference in the end. Ну да. Ну, просто детскую площадку. Eye-opening afternoon in this district, Severna Saltovka. I kind of knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was on the scale, so I never knew how actually big Severna Saltovka is. It's a huge, huge district within the overall district of Saltovka, and I never quite imagined just how many buildings have been affected, just quite how many places, how many schools, like everything in this district. There's not one building which hasn't been at least slightly hit. You can see it on the news all you like, and of course it's devastating to see it on the news, but you actually come here and see it with your own eyes. You see the things they don't always show you on the news. So they don't show you on the news how people still get about with their lives. They don't really show on the news how people are starting to build back again. Yeah, devastating, of course. Very hard to find words to describe it. I think you can just watch the video and make up your own mind in terms of which words best describe the situation. But yeah, it's absolutely devastating. Although always the optimist slightly. I have noticed that a lot of people have started to gut out their flats and build again. I've heard drilling today. I've seen kids playing back on the basketball courts. So I am a bit optimistic also, of course, how depressing this place is now. It's just a ghost town, like a post-apocalyptic ghost town now. It's literally as if some apocalypse has just happened. There are still signs to be optimistic about. There's cranes over here, there's buildings either getting taken down or getting built back up again, and I'm sure that give it 5-10 years, this district will be back to the district it was before, hopefully even better. And a massive thanks today to Ilya, the good friend of mine who showed me this district. I'll say a massive thank you for showing us around.
Yeah, thank you, Danny, too, for inviting me. It was very interesting for me to explore our city and this district. It was very touchful for me because it's my city that I live for all my life, and I very happy that I was here with Danny.
Mm-hmm. And how do you, what kind of emotions do you feel when you're walking around?
I think a little sad and devastating because a lot of people live here and they can't return because the flats are totally destroyed. But also I'm optimistic that the city will be rebuilding in the maybe like approximately 1 and 2 years, and life will come back here and will be even better than was before the war.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that the worst here is definitely behind us. Hopefully, in this district, the worst is behind. It's not been hit at all so much in the last few months. Like I said, there's nothing left to really hit, so it's an opportunity now to try to get for some people to come back and hopefully get the flats repaired or even knocked down and rebuilt again. And yeah, so. But yeah, anyway, thanks a lot, Ilya.
Thanks a lot, you too, Danny.
Yeah, and until next time, guys.